Well, hi everyone and welcome back. Another day of videoing. Today's video has been requested by Hunter Olsen. Now, Hunter didn't say where he's from. It's always nice to know where people are from. And just a reminder, if you're sending me a message, just a simple hi, an introduction to your name and where you're from. It just helps everyone around the world to know who's requesting the videos, and it gives someone for me to address, because just saying hi is not really good enough. A simple bit of politeness, hi, my name is blah blah blah, and we'll all get on a lot better. So Hunter's requested a video on how to remove the headliner from these cars. Now, on the face of it, it looks like quite a simple job, but as the cars get older and older, everything is becoming more and more brittle, and things that you used to be able to bend in order to get them out, we can't do that anymore because pieces are just breaking. And as the parts become more and more rare, we're going to have more and more of a problem keeping our cars on the road and in good condition. So removal of the headliner. At the face of it, it looks like quite a quick job. I've done them before in under 10 minutes, but I have to be honest, I've used techniques that perhaps are not the best techniques, and I have done a little bit of damage. Fortunately, I've managed to hide the damage, but for you today, we're going to do things the proper way. It's a much longer process, unfortunately, but can still be done in under an hour. And an hour's work for you can save you a lot of money at your local garage. So take your time with all of these jobs. Just see it as something that is treasured and needs to be done carefully and properly, and you'll be fine doing all of these jobs yourself. These videos are done for the man at home using domestic tools that you get from your local hardware store. So let's first of all have a quick look at the jobs, at the tools rather. Simple Phillips screwdriver, a good panel prying tool, something with a groove in it, and protect the ends with some PVC tape or something to stop you scratching any of your paintwork. And finally, a couple of plastic trim tools. So let's stick our heads inside and we'll start on the job. So first of all, I want to explain something to you. In order to remove the headliner, we're going to need to remove a number of pieces of plastic. Now, to get this piece of plastic off was actually quite a bit of work. We needed to remove the panel that was here and a couple of panels from inside the trunk of the car. Now, because that was all quite time consuming, I'm not going to cover that again in this video. You need to look at the video entitled, sail panel removal. If you watch that video, it will show you how to remove all of these panels pretty quickly and easy. So for now, we're going to skip that part of the video. I've put this in purely for you to see what was there. And if I can get this clip back out, there we go. So we're going to start the video at this point. And while we're on the inside, we're going to start at the front with the sun visors. All you're going to need to remove these is a simple Phillips screwdriver. Pull your sun visor down, start on the inside and undo the Phillips screw. Then over to this side, you have two more screws. Now be careful when you undo these, because there's a wire that runs through into the arm of the sun visor. And if you let this drop, there is a risk of you breaking the wire. So just hold on to it or get someone to help you to hold on to it. Gentle wiggle out. Okay, so there's our wire. And that's held in with a little plug, which you can undo sometimes. I don't want to pull down on the wire and break it. And my light is a little bit poor here, and as is my eyesight. Damn. Okay, give me a second, I need to get some glasses for this one. Okay, after a little embarrassment about the fact I'm getting old and blind, I've now looked at this plug and I can see how it comes apart. So what you've got here, if the cameraman can zoom in, is a little hook at the top. stick a tool in there to open up the hook, and then that pulls away quite easily. So that's our first part done, and we'll put that out the way somewhere safe for now. Now we move on to the visor on the other side and repeat the process. One screw on this side, and if you've looked after your car, you will have two on this side. However, this car hasn't been looked after, so we've only got one, and I'll replace that missing one at a future date. Once again, we'll wiggle the cable through, and now we know how to undo these. Easy peasy when you know how. Now we need to take out the center courtesy light. Now this was covered in a previous video, but I don't see any reason why we shouldn't cover it again. Sometimes these just come off quite easily and quickly. Sometimes you'll need to use two tools and lever it down like so. Whoops! And I should have said, don't forget to catch a piece of plastic. Okay, now the light console itself. Remember to disconnect your battery, because you are now messing about with electrics and you don't want to risk a fire in your car. Two screws, one there and another one there. Now you may have noticed we've got a lot of corrosion around these lights. The reason for that is this car seems to have leaks absolutely everywhere, and in a future video, which is going to be pretty soon, we're going to be looking at all of the leaks on these cars. Some of them have been neglected for years, some of them are just simply getting old and not maintained properly, and so water's getting in all over the place. So we're going to go through the whole car in a series of videos showing you all the leaks and how to solve them. So now this one's unscrewed, we can now wiggle that down, and I don't know if you see, but water actually poured out of there.
Got that.
And we unplug this one. Like so. Okay, now we're nearly there, but there's just one more thing that I need to show to you. I'm going to get the cameraman to come around the other side in a second, but this panel here needs to come out. Now this is one that sometimes people try to bypass, and what they do is fold the roof in the middle to avoid taking this panel out. And there's a good reason for avoiding this. First of all, it's a very thin panel and it's held in a way that really isn't good for a thin panel. When you try to get it off, quite often people break them, but I'm going to show you the best technique I've found. Secondly, also some people try to do it with this panel in as well that we've just removed a few minutes ago. Really don't try to cut these corners. I can assure you, because of the age of the car, you're going to be having problems. So if my cameraman now comes round, we'll show you how to remove this strip of plastic here, and then we'll finish off on the interior for the roof panel. Okay, so we're outside the car now. I've shown you the piece of plastic trim that we're going to remove, and the first part of it, in fact all of it, is best removed from the outside. You're going to need your regular trim tool with an angled end, and what we're going to do is start at this end and gently work our way across. Now I've seen this piece of plastic made of two different materials. One of them is very brittle, and we need to go really slowly with this one. The other one looks more like an ABS plastic, which is much stronger. I'm hoping you have the stronger one, but either way, just by taking your time, being very gentle, you should still be able to get this out without too much damage or any damage at all. So starting at this end, just pull that down very slightly, just enough to wiggle your tool in there, and it is just a wiggle, and you're just going to pull it down a little bit at a time. Move your tool along till it gets tight, and just a gentle wiggle, and carry on down the line bit by bit. Do not try to bend it in any way at all other than that very slight movement down. Now when you get to about here, the movement goes from a downward movement to a slightly angled inwards movement. the clips actually change shape. So now we're going to, instead of turning it that way, we're going to try and pull it down slightly or lever it down that way into an angle. Just little bits at a time. Now I can see right now this is the plastic that breaks easily, so if we get this out, this will be fantastic. There we go. Oh, that's amazing. Looks like one broke, two broke, but I've got a funny feeling they were already broken. This particular plastic is very, very brittle, especially now it's old. So these are the bits that break off. Now it's not really something you really need to worry about. If you take the broken pieces to a local car dealer who does body panels, they should be able to plastic weld those back on for you, so you're back to normal again. You don't actually need to remove the dashboard in order to do this. This dashboard is partly out purely from a previous video and the fact that the whole car is being stripped down for refurbishment to make it all look new again. So now with that panel off, we're back inside the car for the last couple of parts. Rather than my cameraman go back round and us cut the video, I'll go across, he can film from this side. Okay, so back inside the car. Now we've got a piece of trim across the back here that appears to just be held in there, you know, by miracles. But actually there's a series of clips behind here. And to get those clips undone, you can use a plastic trim tool or your fingers. The beauty of using a plastic trim tool is there's less chance of you putting all your grubby fingers over it. But sometimes these things are so tight, the tool isn't quite good enough. So slip that behind there, and the motion you need to do is a downward motion to pry it off the clips, like so. And once it's off the clips at the front, you just turn it to the back and it comes off as so. Easy peasy when you know how. Now we've just got a couple of final bits. If my cameraman can come in a little bit and I'll point them out to you. We've got one pressed in stud there. We've got the same on the other corner. And we have one at the front here behind the light unit. I'm going to start with the back ones. Back to your trim tool again, slip that behind there, get in nice and tight and pry it down. Now here's the point where you might need someone to give you a hand, because you've got the whole weight of the roof panel now coming down on you, and then that makes it harder to work with. I'm going to use my head at this point just to hold it while I get this tool behind here. That's the second one out. Now I'll hold it while I swivel round. And we'll get to this one. And then there's one final thing before we drop this down. I just want you to bear in mind that behind here we've got a temperature sensor. And that's got a cable running to it, so we don't want to drop this down and rip the cables. So we're going to very slowly lower it bit by bit, work its way out. Okay, so here you see the cable. This is one of those awkward ones that I never like. You normally use a little pick tool to get these out safely. If there's one around here. Yeah, that little red one there. So shove the pick tool in that hole there. Just give it a little bit of lever and then that's out. Now this has got a serious water problem. I don't know if the cameraman can pick all this up, but this car is full of water from the roof down to the ground. So I'll take this panel outside and speak to you outside. Well, there you go, Hunter. That's how to remove your headliner. It is a bit of work. You will need to spread it over the 2 videos. One is a sail panel removal that will show you how to remove some of the interior panels. The other one is the part we just did of the roof liner itself. Relatively easy job. Just take your time with it and you'll have that out in no time. So that's it for now. Lots more videos to come, and I do mean a lot of videos to come. I'll do my best to do them as quick as I can. Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and if you click on the bell you'll get automatic updates every time a new video is uploaded. So for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next video.